Implementing these habits into your daily life will completely change how you spend your free time and how you think about rest. If you've ever taken a week or even a 2-week break and you left that break feeling like you needed more time, this video is definitely for you, because taking more time off won't help you feel rested or restored. And I got that from this book called Sacred Rest. I discovered this book, Sacred Rest. I don't have it near me, but I'll put a picture of it over here or over here, wherever it is, and then I'll also link it. But anyways, I discovered this book, Sacred Rest, and the habits shared in this book were so helpful. They helped me during a time of severe burnout. It was very hard for me to function, very hard for me to focus. And when I found this book and I started applying the habits in the book, within like 3 days, I felt better. Like I felt near 100%, if not at 100%. And I know that these habits will help you as well if you're in that place. If you have been trying to take days off and they haven't been helping, these habits will help. Because I was in that place. I took a whole week off. Did not help. Welcome to my series, Stay Productive and Healthy. I am on a journey to having my most productive and my healthiest year yet, and I'm sharing the things that I've learned along the way. So by this point, we have all found out that doom scrolling is not the way to go. I don't know about y'all, I don't know how you guys feel after you doom scroll, but I know for me, after I finish a doom scroll, I feel so discombobulated. I have brain fog. I'm upset because I lost so much track of time, that I didn't do the things that I wanted to do and that I planned to do. It's just not a fun time after a doom scroll. And I did some research as to why doom scrolling sucks so much. Like, what is the science behind doom scrolling? So I did a quick Google search and I found out that doom scrolling is just actually stressing us out more, because the blue light from our screens, it raises our cortisol levels. And if you don't know, cortisol is your stress hormone. And not only that, but negative news that we come across as we're scrolling, it can take a toll on our mental and emotional health. And that makes sense, because if you're scrolling, laughing, and then all of a sudden you hear horrible news of an explosion or a puppy dying, that can mess with you, and then you have to go about the rest of your day like normal. When we are doom scrolling, we're actually stressing ourselves out more. So during our breaks, on our days off, as we're scrolling through our phones, instead of taking a break, we're actually not taking a break. We're adding stress instead of being restful and resting. Rest should be a time of recovery and pouring back into ourselves. When we have a break, instead of scrolling through our phones, we should be focusing. When we have a break and a moment to ourselves, we should be focusing on the area of rest that we need. A great analogy for this is muscles. If you strength train, you know that muscle growth happens during the resting period and not actually when you're training. And without rest, if you overtrain your muscles, then your muscles won't be able to grow as much as if you had rested. So if you train your glutes and your hamstrings on one day, you need to be resting that the next day and not continuously exercising that area. And the same goes with your life. If you do a whole lot of schoolwork, or if you work a 9 to 5, you should be focusing on areas of mental rest when you have a break or a day off or a moment to yourself. And I say mental rest because there's different areas of rest, and I'll touch on those in a minute. But if you do a lot of creative work, you should focus on creative rest during your breaks off or your moments to yourself. Now, the book Sacred Rest, it outlines 7 areas of rest. So there is mental rest, creative rest, emotional rest, social rest, sensory rest, and spiritual rest. Is that 7? Hold on. Oh, and physical rest. Today, I'm only going to be touching on mental rest and creative rest habits more, but the habits that I share today, I feel like they're good across the board. Habit number one is journaling. And I feel like this is talked about a lot. I feel like there's a lot of creators, a lot of people online telling you to journal, and they're right. They're not wrong. They're very right. And journaling is so good for just clearing your mental noise going on in the background, clearing your head, doing a nice brain dump. It closes all of your open tabs. And when you're journaling, just write whatever you want. Don't censor yourself. And if you don't know what to write, use journaling prompts. I know when I first started journaling, I was like, what am I going to write about? I wasn't really sure what I wanted to write about. So I just used journaling prompts from Pinterest. And then that helped gets your gears going so you know what you want to write. Habit number two is time blocking low yield activities. Now, when it says low yield activities, it's basically just activities that give you a low return and they don't do that much for you. There's not a whole lot of net positive gain. So that could be anything, whether it's admin work or watching TV or scrolling through your phone. I feel like low yield activities can fall into a lot of different categories and it's very personal to you. But time blocking those activities is a great way of, I guess, helping your mind visualize a start and end time to those activities that honestly kind of drain you and don't really do anything positive for you. And starting with 30 minutes is a great way to start if you don't know how long to time block that out. Habit number three is meditating on the Word of God. Studying the Bible, reading the Bible, pondering the verses, letting the juices flow, and then saying it out loud. Meditating on the Word of God, I believe it's something as Christians that we should be doing. It's something that we should be doing as Christians. But it says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in his law doth he meditate day and night. And then it goes on. But blessed means happy. So happy is the person who meditates on the Word of God, as well as all these other things. Gets your mind focused on the right things and the things of the Spirit, rather than the things of the flesh. And a mind focused on the Spirit is a mind focused on the things of the Spirit has life and peace. Habit number four is to go outside and enjoy nature. Just sit outside. You can go hiking if you want. Hiking is not my favorite, but hey, if that's your thing, do it. It's fun. Go outside. It's nice. But I just love sitting outside on my back patio. It could be just as simple as that, or going on a nice walk around your neighborhood. I don't know what it is about the outside, but it just does something right. It does what it needs to do, and it really does help you recharge and reset. I love going outside. Very good habit. Habit number five is seeing good friends and family regularly. So don't just FaceTime. I would actually go over to their house or go out somewhere with them. We were made for community, and having people that we can talk to, pour into, and have pour into us, I think is really good for us, and helps us rest. It helps us feel supported. That's all the 5 habits, and these habits are really good for fitting into any area of your life. I feel like they're great for preventing burnout and helping you live a well-rested life. And they're small habits that can fit into a quick 15-minute break at work, or you can include it in your morning routines or your evening routines. They're just very nice to fit anywhere in your life, anywhere you need them to fit. And they only take a little bit of time. Some of them only 5 minutes if that's all you have. But put these into a regular routine for yourself. Make sure you prioritize and make time for intentional resting instead of just scrolling on your phone.